guys, in this video I'm going to be doing a cook with me / clean with me video. It's probably going to span a couple of days because like I mentioned in the video that I published on Wednesday, my what I ate in the week video, Scott and I have been kind of battling a bug. I'm feeling a lot better, not 100% yet. I still have a lot of congestion and headache, but I am feeling much better. Scott's fever finally broke yesterday and he'll probably be going back to work tomorrow. But my boss, I told her what was going on. We don't know if it's the big old C19 or not, what virus it was. We didn't get tested, we're not going to. But just to be precautionary, she didn't want me to come into work this week. So I've got the week off, and so I'm just gonna do puttering around here and there each day, doing something a little different. So throughout this video, you'll probably see me in different clothes, and you'll probably, the outro when I say goodbye will probably be in these clothes. So I like to do my intros and outros at the same time. Yeah. So anyway, that's what you can expect in this video. I'm going to be doing some Trim Healthy Mama, like food prep, baking, and just some cleaning. The house needs to be cleaned. Always needs to be cleaned. Are you a lap dog? Are you a lap dog? He's liked getting up in my lap more often lately. He never used to be much of a lap dog, but are you a lap dog? And it's super, super warm. It's been really nice the last couple of days. We've had the windows open yesterday. That little pallet of blankets there is, I made that up for Scott yesterday so he could lay on the floor and watch TV. We don't have a love seat or anything upstairs. We just have chairs, and he wasn't feeling good, so he wanted to lay on the floor and watch TV. So that's one of the things I need to do today, is straighten that up and pick that up. Well, Oliver sure didn't make that very easy. Total puppy play mode is all he's in right now. I just wanted to take a minute to thank my friend Carolyn from Australia who sent me this card. I got it today. Isn't that adorable? I'm gonna have to find a frame, I think. That's just too cute to not frame. But she had a really sweet note inside, and part of it she said was, even in this day of email and texting and stuff, it's nice to get an actual physical card in the mail sometimes, in the mailbox. And she is so right. I really appreciate it, and I loved getting your little note, Carolyn. Thank you so much. I'm going to do some baking today. I'm going to be making a peanut butter banana cake that's out of the Trim Healthy Mama cookbook. I don't think I can share the recipe exactly because of copyright issues, but I will tell you the ingredients and tell you which book that it's in and the page number. I'll put the book and the page number here up on the screen so that if you want to make this cake, you can do that. So I'm going to be changing the recipe up just a little bit because it calls for Greek yogurt and I can't do dairy, so in place of the Greek yogurt I'm going to be using applesauce. So we have some unsweetened applesauce there, some apple cider vinegar. That's also because I did some research to figure out why do you need Greek yogurt in baked goods, and apparently the acid in the yogurt activates the baking soda. So I thought, and also it adds moisture to the cake. Well, I know in place of fat, I know that applesauce adds moisture in place of fat because I've been using applesauce in baked goods for many, many years. And so I'm going to go ahead and just add some apple cider vinegar as well. So that's my Greek yogurt replacement. Hopefully it turns out. We'll see. It calls for liquid egg whites. It said 2 large bananas, but I've got 2 like medium-sized bananas, so and a small banana. I'm going to use those 3, and as you see, they really need to be used. Pressed peanut flour, and I did get some from the Trim Healthy Mama website. Vanilla, baking soda, baking powder, salt, stevia, rolled oats, and oat flour. All right, let's get this cake put together. Hopefully it turns out good. This ingredient is not part of the recipe, but because I can and because chocolate makes everything better, I'm going to add a ½ cup of miniature dark chocolate chips. Here it is, all done. It's still too hot to cut, but as soon as I can cut this, this is what I'm having for lunch today. I had a late breakfast, and so I don't want to eat a big lunch at 3 o'clock, so I'm going to have a piece of this cake at 3 o'clock. Can't hardly wait. Alright, so the next recipe I'm going to make I can share with you because I got it off of the internet, so I'm assuming that means it's free domain or whatever. It's sprouted wheat cinnamon scones, and it is Trim Healthy Mama E, and I got it off of the blog or whatever. Wonderfully made and dearly loved. That's the name of the blog. So I'm going to go ahead and double the recipe because if I'm going to get all these ingredients out, I might as well do it right. And I'm going to be using sprouted wheat flour. I get this off of, where do I get this? Vitacost, I believe. Yeah, Vitacost. So because this sprouted wheat flour is kind of lumpy, chunky, it's hard to describe. It's just not very, it's got little bits of stuff in it. I don't normally take the step to sift my flour, but when I use the sprouted wheat flour, I do, and it just makes the final product that much better. All these years, whenever I'd see a recipe that says sift the flour, I'm like, I can't be bothered to do that step, and I skip it. So I think since using this sprouted wheat flour and sifting it, I think I'm going to actually follow the directions on ingredients or on recipes from now on when it says to sift. But anyway, like I said, I'm doubling the recipe. I will have the recipe written out in the description box below, and it will just be for a single recipe. So I'm going to need 4 cups of sprouted wheat flour. Alright, so Olivia just informed me that if I actually link this recipe on the website instead of writing the recipe out, then when you click on that link, the person who did the recipe will get clicks on their website, and so they kind of get credit for it or whatever. So that's what I'll do instead. I'll just link it below. My daughter is so smart. Okay, so here's 1 cup. And for each cup of flour, I'm going to add another dry ingredient to it and to sift it together. So it calls for 1 teaspoon of cream of tartar, so it will be 2 teaspoons. My teaspoon won't fit in the little jar, so I'm going to use the ½ teaspoon, and so that'll be 4 of these. So I don't know if you can see that, but that's what's left over when you sift that sprouted flour. And look how much fluffier it looks. This is cup number 2, and to this cup I'm going to add baking soda. Be 1 teaspoon of baking soda. So this is the 3rd cup of flour, and to that I'm adding a ½ teaspoon of salt. So then to this flour mixture, I'm going to add 4 tablespoons of stevia blend. Got my Dutch whisk here. I love this little tool. We sold out of these like 2 or 3 times over the Christmas season at my store that I work at, and now we're having a hard time getting a resupply in, and I have had people coming in at least once a week asking for them. So these are a really handy tool. Okay, so now that's all of the dry ingredients. Now I'm going to add the wet ingredients, and the recipe calls for 3 tablespoons of applesauce, so in my case it would be 6 tablespoons of applesauce. 8 tablespoons are in a half a cup. This little thing is a half a cup. I'm just gonna go for it and put the whole thing in because I don't want a little dab of applesauce left. If I need to adjust the wetness at the end, I'll put less almond milk in. So that's that, and then I need 6 tablespoons of liquid egg whites. Got this handy dandy little cup that's got measurements on the side. So tablespoons, 5, how many did I say I needed? 6, so it's to that line right there. Two tablespoons of water. So then a half a cup of almond milk. So I'll put about half of it in. And you just kind of start mixing this till it becomes a biscuit dough consistency. So actually I'm going to need a little bit more milk. I may have added a little bit too much flour because when I use this Pioneer Woman measuring cup, it's kind of hard to get an accurate measure. So I'm just going to continue adding moisture to this until it's the right consistency. Now I'm going to add an extra ingredient that's not on the recipe because I can, and because chocolate makes everything better. I'm going to add some more of those miniature dark chocolate chips. Alright, so I got this to a nice moist biscuit texture. If I was going to be rolling these out and cutting them into triangles, I wouldn't want it quite this sticky, but I'm just going to be using a scoop and putting them on a cookie sheet. So a little bit sticky is fine. And I find that because this is basically, in America we call these biscuits. In England they're scones, but it's like a sweet biscuit. And I found when I make biscuits that if the dough is just a little bit sticky, the biscuits turn out moister. So I probably added a little bit too much almond milk, but I like this texture for biscuits. So I'm going to go ahead and add some chocolate chips. 1 cup of mini chocolate chips, dark chocolate. Alright, these go in a 400-degree oven for 15 minutes or until they are golden brown. Alright, this cake is cool enough to cut, and I'm going to cut a nice big slice, and it's going to be my lunch because I'm really hungry. I don't know if I should cut the whole thing while it's slightly warm. Yeah, I'm just going to cut that much of it because it's still kind of warm. But I'm going to cut me a good piece. Once it's completely cool, I will cut it the rest of the way. Okay, look at that crumb. That looks really good. And it looks very moist. It is very moist. So I'm going to give this a taste and see what I think of it. I think instead of dirtying up a fork, I'm just going to take a bite. That is super yummy. super yummy. Definitely worth making. If you have any overripe bananas that you need to use up, this would be a perfect recipe for that. Delicious. Here they are out of the oven and they are cooling. I just put them on this cooling rack, so they are piping hot. I'm going to give them about 5-10 minutes and then I am going to eat one along with that piece of cake. That's going to be my lunch for today. But hey, you know what? I have to sacrifice. I have to sacrifice to give a taste test for you guys. So anyway, yeah, those are, oh, they smell delicious. Can't wait to try one. Okay, I am ready to try one of these now. Because these are an E, which means they have very little fat. You don't want to add a bunch of fat to these because then otherwise you'll have a crossover. So I am going to look at that. I'm just going to take a tiny bit of my dairy-free avocado oil spread. I mean, just a sliver, and put on, because what is a scone without butter? Here's another little sliver. You're allowed up to 5 grams of fat in an E setting, so I'm sure that was, how many grams of fat is in this? 1 tablespoon is a serving, and it's 6 grams of fat for a full tablespoon. So that was not even a teaspoon. So we're safe there. All right, let me give these a try. I know they're good. I've had them before. Not super sweet, but they're sweet enough. Perfect for a breakfast. I'll probably have 2 of these tomorrow for breakfast. Like I said, I'll put the link in the description box below, and I highly recommend that you give these a try. That footage that you saw of me cleaning off the kitchen counter was 2 days ago. Look what needs to happen again before I'm even done with this video. Now, I did just feed the dogs, so that's what that is. But let's get this counter cleaned off again. Oliver was bored, and so I looked online to see some toys that you can make for a dog just out of household items, and it said to put treats inside of a cereal box. I used a graham cracker box, and tape the box shut and let them just destroy the box to get to the treat. And it's supposed to keep them busy. So I'm keeping all my old cereal boxes now. Because he was being destructive. He was getting things he shouldn't get and was chewing them up. So, yeah, what you got? So maybe this will keep him busy for a while. And I put his treats in that have a really strong smell. Although beagles have a good sense of smell anyway, but get it, Ollie, get it. Get it? Oh, don't get frustrated. Just get it. I might have to, oh my. Oh my goodness. Am I gonna have to start it for you? Oh, he's joking now. All right, just a minute, just a minute.
get his treats out. He got the box open. Lasted all of like a minute. Yep, he got the treats. Now I'm just going to let him rip that box up if he wants to. I'll have a mess to clean up, but maybe at least I can get my devotions done this morning.
So there you have it, friends. That was my cook with me / clean with me video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and we will talk to you all later. Bye-bye.